Palestine depends on the destruction of Israel. The concept of Palestine. What is Palestine? These are the most important questions. What is the Palestinian? Today, when I debate with some students at UCLA, they are more rigid in their indoctrination than Hamas members. In one of my debates, I told one of the students, you know what, I may find a middle ground with Palestinian jihadists, but with you, I cannot find a middle ground because you've never been there. How can you negotiate with such people? Along my term, I see the Israeli people, the Jewish people, as very close friends, and I identify with their struggle because we are in the same position. Take, for example, I haven't committed a crime by saving human lives. I know the law. I revealed it to the world. Doesn't look like the attitude of a traitor, because usually traitors are hiding in the darkness, bleeding people, bleeding public, taking advantage, abusing power, manipulating, deceiving, open book. I made it available to the public. I made it in Arabic for free. It's real. Step onto my shoes and see the reality. See through my lens. Makes sense for it. It's not worth killing civilians. Your entire Palestinian identity is not worth it. Your actually entire Islamic identity is not worth an innocent life, the life of innocent child. This is through the lens of the divine. So anyway, what was the outcome? Defame, cancellation. They wanted to take my right to exist for being truthful with them. Apparently, the type of people who don't like truth, they don't want to be true, period. And today, when I look at Israel, I understand the position exactly because I was in the mess of the Second Intifada. The suicide bombing attacks that targeted civilians indiscriminately, and how Hamas, the Muslim Brotherhood, and the Palestinian Authority, by the way, was supposed to be a peace partner, kept fanning the flames of conflict to the no turning point. It's their mastery. They can only survive and thrive in chaos. On the other hand, Israel is not perfect, just another democracy with all its shortcomings. And I don't have a problem with that. Because the anchor is order, is not chaos. No one in the state of Israel is welcome if they are real chaos. Most people, the vast majority, are pro-order. I mean, societies are societies now, honestly, in many times, I want to be invisible to humanity. I like to be in the jungle on my own. Sometimes I prefer to spend time in nature than spending time in society. It's right. When a majority agree with evil. So, I'm sorry that I'm not answering your question directly, but I would like to explain my position. I'm not here to tell you what to do, what not to do. We all understand the mess. Hamas dragged us on October 7th into a very dirty fight, knowing that Israel, or the outcome of such war, is going to be delegitimizing and defaming Israel, shaming Israel, staining Israel with a crime that Hamas commits. And right now, we have been trying to do what? To clean the state, to clean the image, the reputation, all the efforts, all the money in the world won't be able to wash this state. But if we stand for our truth, regardless of what people say about us, what people accuse us, because we know that we are not thirsty for Gaza children's blood. None of us, no one in Israel. And Israel's attempt hasn't been to caress the Palestinian people, but the self-proclaimed Palestinian people have been on a quest to destroy Israel and to force the Jewish people out of the country. They inverted the narrative, yes, but this does not mean that this is the truth. Give it just some time before the Palestinians, the jihadists, and all those true battlers, and they are going to reveal their true nature to the world. And there's going to be time. Things may get worse than what it is right now, but eventually the world is going to remember the exact same position of Israel today and say, we misunderstood. And Israel is going to prevail. And Israel is going to emerge out of the situation victorious as a leading nation and as a leading country. This is a religious war. This is a religious war declared from one side against both sides. Take for example, the Muslims, when they are reading what they call Surah Al-Fatih, this is the most recited prayer that any salah or any Islamic prayer without this verse is invalid. And Muslims around the world, even though the majority of them don't speak Arabic, they must recite it in Arabic. Apparently stuff they don't understand. Now, what they say in this most known surah make us different than the cursed one. غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. It literally means, and it names, or they say it refers directly to the cursed Jews. In every salat, hundreds of millions around the world of Muslims, whether they understand Arabic or they don't understand Arabic, repeat this. They have been repeating this for 14 centuries. And as we speak now, hundreds of millions of Muslims around the world have been repeating this. Their prayer is literally cursing the Jewish people. For what? What did the Jewish people do to the Muslims? There is nothing in Judaism anti-Islam. Why Islam is filled with hateful verses, demonizing and dehumanizing the Jewish people? This is the question that we need to ask the world. So basically, it is a religious war, but from one side. On one hand, the Jews are not declaring war against the Muslims. But we have to keep it across our eyes that it is a war of Muslim jihadists against the Jews. This is the dynamic that no matter what happens, no matter what is happening, that we cannot deny. I am not asking to go on a war with the Muslim people. I myself, I have been cancelled according to Islamic law for renouncing Islam. I have been sentenced to death. I have been cancelled, shot by my own family for the crime of being free. For the crime of being free. Israel today is defamed, is shunned, is cancelled for the crime of being free. What they want from Israel, they want from Israel to submit and to surrender. As long as this is the attitude, then I don't want to negotiate with them. And Israel should have the same freaking attitude. That I don't negotiate with people who want to cancel my right to exist. This is the dynamic. Drop your hatred against the Jewish people. Drop your attempt that you want to cancel my right to exist. Then we can talk. I cannot talk to you when you are pointing a rifle, when you are killing my people, when you are killing innocent people, as I witnessed, not under my watch. Even though they want to cancel my right to exist, and you can learn from my story. And hopefully you can learn from what happens here. As long as this is what they want, and this is their avenue, I am not hating them. That's the problem. I challenge them. I challenge their belief system. But I want to wake him up, still and motivated with a little bit of grace and a little bit of love. That I have to lost sight. When I wake up in the morning, I don't want the Muslim world to disappear. When Israel wakes up in the morning, they don't want the Arab Muslim world to just disappear. Nobody has this intention in Israel. Israel went to Gaza to an ugly war nobody wanted to go to. No mother in Israel wanted to send her children to booby-trap society, where nobody can know the difference between civilians and combatants. But this is the reality that we are dealing with, and now, yes, we are in it. So, we need to stand firm and wait for the verdict. Not the verdict of the United Nations or the ICC or the moralists, the verdict of the universe. And when it comes, it's going to be thunderous. Let the people today take sides. Take the side of the fire, the side of the victim narrative. Take it. Pose as the moralist, the one with a greater mind of understanding. But eventually, they are going to see it inverted. And they're going to see the real side of the thing, the side of evil, the evil that we witnessed on October 7th. So today, yes, there is lots of confusion. It's not my opinion that is going to help you. You don't need me. You don't need my expertise. All you have to do is just be resilient. 5,000 years of experience you have under your belt. 5,000 years of survival. You think this is coincidental? It's not coincidental. Stick to your truth, even if the entire world turns against it. It's the Palestinian Authority double game. In Ramallah, in Gaza, it's considered jihad, martyrdom. And look at the painful slave programs. It's not coincidental. This is the culture. Here, they feed the public jihad. In the West, they rebrand it as resistance, or they rebrand it as nationalism, pretending that this is not a religious war, even though they have been feeding the beast. For how long? And honestly, the Palestinian Authority was that sincere about peace. How long they have been hiding in the grass? For 2 years, the world is going in confusion. The Palestinian Authority, they know that Hamas is the greatest enemy in the region, a barbaric group. They don't care for Palestine. They don't want any Palestinian state. They don't believe in political borders. What they want, basically, an Islamic Khilafah. But for the Palestinian Authority, instead of saying what happened to Israel is not acceptable, to condemn Palestinian jihadists. This is what Hamas is, Palestinian jihadists. And they are in the West Bank, and they are part of the Palestinian Authority. And the Palestinian Authority gives them cover. They work like a bad and good cop. Then the people go in confusion. There is no difference. Palestine depends on the destruction of Israel. The concept of Palestine. What is Palestine? These are the most important questions. What is the Palestinian? Today, when I debate with some students at UCLA, they are more rigid in their indoctrination than Hamas members. In one of my debates, I told one of the students, you know what, I may find a middle ground with Palestinian jihadists, but with you, I cannot find a middle ground because you've never been there. How can you negotiate with such people? So with that said, the Palestinian Authority double game, playing the good cop. No, they are not. They're just the other side of the coin. Their entire foundation is based on a victim narrative. They have used civilians, weaponized civilians for political and financial gain. This is the equation. This is where the world needs to understand that these people are reckless. They are willing to kill their own children, put their own children in harm's way for political and financial gain. This is what we are dealing with. And okay, all the diplomacy and say, don't generalize. Then why do you still identify as Palestinian if Palestine never existed as a sovereign state? And where is it in Oslo that says a Palestinian state, or 1967 borders, where it says that settlements are illegal? So this lie must come to an end, and who's behind the lie actually is not Palestinian jihadists like Hamas and Islamic Jihad. It's Mahmoud Abbas in Ramallah. This is the puppet. This is the mastermind behind the entire campaign to deflame Israel and to fan the flame of conflict, banking on the tragedy of Gaza. What is viewed in Israel as a tragedy, for Mahmoud Abbas is a strategy. This is the game and this is the wager. And we need to stop calling things for what they are. Saying we don't hate the Jews, but we hate the Zionists. So and tomorrow, even if you criminalize anti-Zionists, they are going to come and do what? Find another reason. Find another lame excuse. This is the reality that we are dealing with. And they are going to hate anyway. They hate themselves. So basically, we are not relying on their validation. For Israel right now, the biggest threat, in my opinion, is division. And I think the situation in Israel right now is better than during the war, especially first year of the war. I think we need to invest our energy in strengthening, unifying the people in Israel and the Jewish nation. Because there is a tsunami out of it. What we are experiencing right now is only the earthquake. A tsunami follows. And thank God that there is a safe place for the Jewish people. Someone who studied the Holocaust. Thank God that they don't have to go on to trades into the unknown. Thank God. And thank God that Israel is strong, powerful army, powerful intelligence, and these people actually who know how to represent the Jewish state. Unfortunately, I am not a diplomat, I am not a good representative. Because as you see my fire, and I don't have the desire to compromise or even to have a gentle approach towards people who want to be dead. And now as I speak, I'm speaking to them, not people. So thank God that the Jewish people have the brain. Sooner or later, Israel is going to prevail. There is no need to panic. Yes, we are in crisis right now, but this is the nature of it. If the world cannot understand that, wait until they get in trouble. Then they will say, aha, now it makes all sense. They are in trouble. I don't think Israel is in trouble. I think Israel is a fortress, in fact. And when I look at Europe, even the United States, I am not so sure that they have security, and they are secure as much as Israel can secure, secure on every.
Absolutely. And thank you for that.
If you have a 401k or an IRA, please listen. Gold is at record highs. What many people don't know is this: you can move part of your retirement money legally and without tax penalties into physical gold you actually own. Alpha Omega Gold helps you do this through a gold IRA. Your gold is real. It is stored safely. It is in your name. Learn more at ao.gold/stand. Alpha Omega Gold is our sponsor, and they proudly stand with Israel.